Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
Tonight in San Francisco, RBI leader Travis Shaw and the Milwaukee Brewers just 2 games back of the Cubs in the Central Division, taking on Hunter Pence and the Giants. A 3-game series in the city by the Bay starts next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. From Colorado to San Francisco, thanks for staying up late with us tonight. We are ready for a 3-game series. The Brewers and the San Francisco Giants from one of the great ballparks in baseball, AT Park in San Francisco. The Giants are struggling this year. They are very used to winning around here, but this season it has been a forgettable season. Just 50 wins on the year. They have officially been eliminated from the postseason. Meanwhile, the Brewers are back in the picture. 2 games out to start the day, 6-1 in their last 7 games. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from AT Park in San Francisco. Got a beautiful night for baseball. Alongside my partner, Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. We'll hear from Sophia in just a moment. Looking at the top of the batting order here tonight, Brewers take 2 out of 3 from the Rockies, and a pretty good formula at the top of the order with power in the leadoff spot, and that's Eric Thames here tonight. Neil Walker hits second. What do you think?
Yeah, but, Craig Counsell's been working on that leadoff spot all season long. VR has been a bunch of different guys, but Eric Thames seems to be thriving in that spot. In this Colorado series, he had 2 triples in back-to-back games. I mean, between he and Walker, they've been on base 8 times in that series, and include that pinch hit RBI for Neil Walker, they were on 9 times. So it's been a lot of fun to watch. Neil Walker, since he's come over, has an on-base percentage over 500. He was really hot when he was with the Mets right before the trade, and he continues to swing a hot bat. Top of the order for the Brewers has been very good. Ryan Braun in that number 3 spot has really benefited from those 2 guys up there.
Well, what a big pickup Neil Walker has been. We're ready to go tonight. We're going to check in with Jeff Grayson and Jerry Augustine. How about Corey Knebel? His dream season continues. He's got another record in the books. to start his inning.
On a swing and a miss, and a wave and a miss from Delgado. And
There's a swing and a miss. This time he pulled the string.
full count to Harper, and Davies strikes him out.
1-2 pitch. Down he goes.
Strikeout of Contreras, and a nice clean inning for Zach Davies.
The Brewers continue their 9-game road trip through the National League West. A look at tonight's starters. We open a 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants. Zach Davies, with 14 wins on the season, has a chance to match Clayton Kershaw for the most wins in the National League. And he'll face Giants right-hander Chris Stratton, who in his last start against the Nationals went 6 2/3, did not allow a run, and had 10 strikeouts, coming off of arguably the best start of his career. Good evening, everyone. Sophia Minard here at AT Park in San Francisco. And for Zach Davies, he has certainly been on an impressive run since the second half of the season. In his last 7 starts, 5 of those have been quality starts, and he has been even better on the road throughout this season. When you look at what he's done on the road in his last 5, he's undefeated. He's gone 4-0. The earned run average just .52, and opponents hitting 186 against him. So his overall season numbers, he's 7-0 on the road, and the earned run average 252. Davies will get his first look at the San Francisco Giants, has never made a start against them, and manager Craig Counsell is pleased with the adjustments that Davies has made, particularly in the early innings of games.
Hey, you got to come out from pitch one, and it's you know, maybe you can't hide everything that you want to hide. Sometimes you got to go with all your weapons early. You got to understand that first inning, you know, and we talk about this on the other side of the ball, that first inning is the time when you are most vulnerable, because you're the guy that hasn't been on the mound for 4 days, and you might not be in great rhythm yet. And you can get hurt, and Zach's, you know, the big damage against Zach has come early in games, so he's aware of it, and he's tried to adjust to it and tried to be better at it.
Davies looks to limit the damage in his first start against the Giants. The Brewers look to keep the bats going like they did, winning 2 out of 3 against the Rockies. We've got first pitch and lineups coming up next at AT Park.
Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Ready to play ball here in San Francisco tonight, and the first pitch to Eric Thames is in there for strike one. Away we go. Beautiful night for baseball, the day of the eclipse, the solar eclipse, and the Brewers and the Giants, game one of this 3-game series. Giants pitcher Chris Stratton, a 4.91 ERA coming in. He's a guy the Giants want to take a good look at. The Brewers are going to miss Madison Bumgarner in this series. He pitched yesterday. As Thames takes a ball inside. Yesterday, the Giants here at AT&T Park losing to the Phillies. 5-2 was the final score. Giants now 50-76. The Brewers coming off a series win against the Colorado Rockies. See the Potawatomi batting order for Milwaukee here tonight. Eric Thames, Neil Walker, Ryan Braun. In the middle, it's Shaw, Santana, and Vogt with Broxton, Arcia, and Davies rounding out the starting 9, matching up against Stratton, and that one misses. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bit of a homecoming here for Eric Thames. Sophia's going to have more on that story a little later. He's from the San Jose area, and he's got a lot of friends and family in the ballpark tonight. And here he is, Rock, leading off for the Brewers tonight.
He led off in that Colorado series a couple of days. He did not start in yesterday's game. Great Council gave him the day off. Had triples in back-to-back games. And he and Neil Walker, a good combination in Colorado at the top of the order. It's been something Craig Counsell has been looking for all season long, that consistency at the top.
Now, one of the concerns coming into this series in San Francisco, and it is always a concern of Craig Counsell, who's celebrating his 47th birthday, by the way, today. Happy birthday, Counsell. But one of the concerns coming here is the fact the Brewers rely so heavily on the home run ball, and this is not a great place for the home run ball. Milwaukee has lost 14 of their last 18 games in this ballpark, and they're going to have to find another way to score some runs. Not to say the Brewers can't hit the home runs here, they certainly can, but AT&T Park surrendering the fewest home runs by ballpark as Thames into right field. Closing on it is Pence, and that's how the game begins for Chris Stratton. A line drive out to right.
Yeah, Chris Stratton making his 4th start of the year. Very good his last time out. That was against the Nationals. That was in Washington. 6 2/3, no runs. He struck out a career high 10. He was down in the minor leagues, and really not that great in numbers down in the minors.
Making start number 4, appearance number 7 for the Giants, and facing Neil Walker with 1 away in this first inning.
And down in the minor leagues, he was 4-5 in 15 starts and a .511 earned run average.
Big curveball from Stratton, misses low. Walker's been a great addition for the Brewers. He and Anthony Swarzak have been the 2 key pickups for Milwaukee. Under the radar trades, you could call them, but 2 guys that are contributing in major ways. Swarzak pitching in that setup role, and Neil Walker has hit. He has driven in runs. Switch hitting second baseman. Made his first start as a Brewer as a third baseman, but mostly he'll be at second base, and he brings not just a big bat, he brings that clubhouse presence as well. He's been through the fire of a pennant race and a postseason in his time with the Pirates. Brewers got him from the Mets.
And he's given that batting order great length. You add him in there, everybody else slots down one spot, and not only just offensively, Walker's been pretty impressive at second base, showing good range, a terrific throwing arm. A nice pickup.
Counsell was raving about his defense before the game. He has not been known as a very good defensive second baseman, but you couldn't say that in his time here in Milwaukee. He's not only making the routine plays, but he's made some of the spectacular plays as well. And it looks like a really nice fit with the very rangy shortstop Orlando Arcia. 3-2 pitch, and Walker into center field. On the run is Span, can't get there. Neil Walker with a base hit single.
Like, you think of a bigger contrast, playing 3 games in Colorado and then coming here. And talk about the flight of the baseball. It seemed like everything that was hit in the air in Colorado was at the warning track. Air very heavy here. And 399 to center field. Let's check out the pitch here is a fastball. He doesn't throw overpowering. He's throwing about low 90s. Mixes it very well. Span got a bad break on it and dumps it into center field.
You might have noticed the chewed up outfield here. They had a concert, a Lady Gaga concert at AT Park, and it has left the outfield in pretty poor condition. I think the players say it looks worse than it actually plays. It's a different tone of grass. There are seams out there as well. That's where the stage was situated for that Lady Gaga concert. They also had a James Taylor Bonnie Raitt concert here as well. So they've put on some different activities here at AT&T Park, but it's left the playing conditions and the playing surface to be desired here as the Brewers arrive in August. Well, this was always one of the most immaculate grounds in all of baseball. The perfect conditions, the perfect style grass. They didn't even mow the stripes into the outfield. It was just that beautiful green, and that is not the case this year.
Yeah, a lot of activity on that grass, and even here it's going to have some effect.
Ryan Braun at the plate with Walker at first. Stratton going to that curveball often here in this first inning.
And he's got a good curveball. He throws 4 pitches. He mixes it up pretty well. Low 90s fastball, curve, slider, changeup. Ryan Braun has done very well in this ballpark. Very good numbers against the Giants.
Braun is hitting .309 since coming off the disabled list. Remember, he was on the disabled list, 2 rounds on the disabled list with a calf injury. And a pretty good sample size since coming off the DL as well. His playing time has been a little bit sporadic, trying to protect that calf injury. Also deals with thumb still. End up missing 39 games in 2 separate stints on the disabled list. But Braun hitting .309. He has 6 homers, 20 RBIs in the 39 games since coming back from the DL. And his August has been his best month as far as batting average goes at .365.
And even the outs, a lot of the outs that he's recorded have been hit hard. Seeing the baseball pretty well.
Runner goes. Walker takes off. Braun takes ball 4. And a high pitch count developing for Stratton. The Brewers have 2 on with 1 man out. Back-to-back 3-2 counts.
Yeah, let's check out the Menards defense for the Giants. Always very good defensively. Matter of fact, 4th fewest errors in the National League. They've committed only 66. Brandon Crawford very underrated out there at shortstop. You got Parker, Span, and Pence in the outfield. Pablo Sandoval's back. Got Jones at first. Brandon Belt out with concussion problems, and no Buster Posey tonight. It's Nick Hundley.
And Joe Panik is out with concussion problems as well. So the Giants, that's been the kind of season they've had. They've just been unable to get healthy. They lost their horse, Madison Bumgarner, for a good stretch of the season. He is back. He pitched yesterday. Here's Travis Shaw now with 2 on and 1 out. Shaw with a hit yesterday, was 1 for 4, scored a run. Had 3 hits in that series against the Giants back in June, including a couple of RBIs in that series at Miller Park. Brewers have been the best scoring team in the first inning all year, and they have a chance to strike early here as Hundley is on his way out for a first inning visit with his pitcher.
And the Brewers winning 2 out of 3 in Colorado and did not score in the first inning. That's kind of been their calling card this year, getting on top early.
Walker out at second, Braun at first. And Shaw gets under one, a high pop-up. Sandoval in foul territory makes the play for out number 2. That's a big out for Stratton early in this game as the Brewers' best run producer, Travis Shaw, is retired. Here comes Domingo Santana now. He and Broxton both with home runs in Colorado to get him into the 20 range. 20 homers for Santana, 63 RBIs, career best in both categories for Domingo, and a big swing and a miss.
And a lot of those home runs coming to the opposite field. Brewers have now 4 different hitters with 20 or more home runs. lead all of baseball in long balls this year. Or I should say lead the National League.
Santana with 2 hits on the road trip, one of those being a home run. And mostly his home runs are to center field and right center, which end up as long fly balls here at AT&T Park. Yes. He can hit them down the line. It's a short porch down the line at 309, but it's a high wall in right field, and it immediately goes out to 421 in the deep right center field corner.
And it doesn't carry all that well. It says 399 to center, but it plays a lot deeper than that.
Always that heavy air. Cool temperatures this time of year. It's 64 degrees. Santana wraps one on the ground right to the shortstop Crawford, and the side is retired. After that visit to the mound by Hundley, Stratton settles down, retires Shaw and Santana, and the inning is over. Zach Davies on the mound tonight for the Brew Crew. Bottom of the first inning, Brewers come up empty in the top of the first. And Bruce Bochy, one of the more decorated managers in Major League Baseball, started his career with the Padres, went to a World Series there, and then the 3 World Series titles as a member of the Giants. His Potawatomi batting order today looks like this, with Denard Span leading off, Kelby Tomlinson, then Jarrett Parker, Hunter Pence, Brandon Crawford, and the Panda, Pablo Sandoval, is back hitting 6th. Then you got Hundley, Ryder Jones, and Chris Stratton rounding out the starting 9. That will face Zach Davies, an extreme ground ball pitcher, and this is a ballpark tailor-made for Zach Davies.
Yep, keep the ball down. He's 7-0 on the road in 12 starts, 252 road earned run average. Second in the National League in wins, 14-6 is Zach. The Giants are the last National League team he's made a start against.
Davies with those 14 wins, 1 behind Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw is on the mend with the Dodgers. He is coming back soon. He will not pitch in that series against the Brewers, but Kershaw has 15 wins. He's been on the disabled list for nearly a month with a bad back. Davies can join him with a win here today.
Always important for Davies to get off to a good start. There you see the National League wins leaders. A couple of Dodgers in the mix.
And the former Brewer, Zach Greinke. There's a called strike 3. Span is rung up. And Davies starts his night with a punch out, a backwards K on Denard Span.
Well, let's check out the Menards Brewers defense for tonight. You got Braun, Broxton, Santana, and no changes in that outfield. Yeah, Shaw, Arcia, Walker, and Thames, and Stephen Vogt. Good to have him back off the disabled list. His second start. since his return from the disabled list with that knee problem. Manny Pena sits this one out tonight.
Vogt had some great years here in the Bay Area, across the Bay in Oakland. Two-time All-Star with the Athletics. He's got a lot of friends in the ballpark as well. A lot of connections here to the Bay Area with Brewers players. Kelby Tomlinson takes a strike from Davies. And we have the two bespectacled Major League players matching up here this week. Tomlinson and Sogard. Bouncing ball to Arcia. Nice easy hop for him. And there is out number 2.
Does that mean two guys that wear glasses?
Yes.
Bespectacled?
But they got to be these kind of glasses. I mean, there are the version, let's say, Tyler Clippard wears that are kind of more like the rec specs, like
goggles,
the Oakleys.
Goggles.
These are like the traditional glasses.
Yeah.
Like kind of like what you're wearing right now, Rock.
Why did you say that?
It's a good point.
Bespectacled?
I do need to simplify things. I understand.
For me.
We don't want to expand the vocabulary so early in the road trip. First ball swinging. Jared Parker with a single back up the middle. Clean single to center field for Jared Parker. Hit that one real good, Rock.
Yes, he did. That fastball up. I mean, Zach Davies needs to get that baseball down, but it is a ground ball, and that's something that Davies has done a lot of this year. I mean, not too many guys have more ground ball outs than Davies. One of the league leaders in that department.
Davies is currently 5th in the National League in ground ball outs. 6th overall Major League Baseball. Davies figures to climb that list here today. Already has 1 ground ball out. Hunter Pence. Been a down year for Pence this season. He's had some leg problems. Spent some time on the disabled list. Matter of fact, he came back in that series in Milwaukee a couple of months ago. That was early June. Giants have a lot of big names, Rock. A lot of names that we are very familiar with who have had plenty of postseason success. But for whatever reason, there are a lot of reasons, but the Giants have had one of their worst seasons in the Bruce Bochy era.
Yeah, maybe getting a little bit older, right? I mean, Pence is getting up there. Crawford, although he's not, that old years-wise, he's got a lot of games under his belt. And they've had injuries that have really forced them to bring guys up from the minor leagues a little bit early. Yeah, 13th in runs per game, dead last in all of baseball in home runs.
You see Matt Cain, who was a postseason star. Giants pass, no longer the same type pitcher. Swing and a miss by Pence. Took a mighty hack. Missed one right down the middle at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many of those from Davies. He's been on the corners. That comeback two-seamer has been a good pitch for him, particularly starting off the outside corner to right-handers.
Pence was not in the starting lineup yesterday against Philadelphia. He did get a couple of at-bats, though. Came in as a pinch hitter. Stayed in as a defensive replacement. Was 0 for 2. He's hit a home run on this Giants homestand. Runner takes off. And the pitch is down and away. I think Vogt thought he had a strike to end the inning. Instead, it's a ball, and it's a stolen base for Jared Parker.
Well, he held on to it because he thought it was strike 3, and Fox Tracks had it in the strike zone. That'll be a stolen base for Parker. He's in scoring position.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, if that's not a strike. Oh boy. Let's go.
Home plate umpire tonight is Mark Carlson, and now the strikeout comes. Pence a cut and a miss, and the inning is over. Davies strands a runner at second base. Giants get a hit. Fail to score. We head to the second scoreless. To lead off for the Brewers, Vogt, Broxton, and Arcia. The additions for the Brewers, strengthening that roster. Neil Walker at the top of the list. They've won 6 of 7 since Walker was acquired. Vogt returning from the disabled list. That's like another trade late in the year. And then Anderson, that's the big one for the Brewers on the mound. He had been their ace. Anderson picks up the win yesterday against the Colorado Rockies.
Yep, and Anthony Swarzak has been a heck of an addition as well. The 8th inning guy for Craig Counsell.
Now the Brewers have done a terrific job. And you look at those injuries to Vogt and Chase Anderson. The Brewers did acquire Vogt from the A's. You call that a trade, but he's been gone. So Vogt returns. He gives you a great presence, gives you a nice bat. Manny Pena has secured that everyday role with the Brewers. But Rock, yesterday what we saw out of Chase Anderson, that is the piece that no team has been able to acquire, at least at the stature of a guy like Chase Anderson. You know, the Dodgers are going to get Clayton Kershaw back. There are a number of big name pitchers that are out right now, but for the Brewers, they needed Chase Anderson to be back and healthy, and he looked like he was yesterday.
Yeah, he was throwing hard. I mean, he struggled a little bit with his off-speed stuff, but that's to be expected. After missing 7 weeks, you don't expect the curveball changeup to be what it was. But you know, before he got hurt, one of the best in the National League, 6th best ERA, before he went on the DL with that oblique injury. Yeah, that's a big pickup.
Anderson won his 7th game yesterday. He's 7-2 now, and an earned run average of .283. Went 5 innings, gave up 1 run in yesterday's game. Doesn't have enough innings to qualify in the ERA leaders, but he would be up there among the best. He would, if he had enough innings, he would be 4th in the league. Give you an idea how well he's pitching. Vogt sends one into right center. Pence is on the run, and he's got it for the out. 1 away in the 2nd.
Yeah, good to have him back.
Clean shaven.
Yeah, starting rotation has been very good. The bullpen, I mean, everything right now. You know, you take away that East Coast road trip, 2-8. This has been a pretty consistent team this year. Off to a good start on this very important West Coast swing.
Such a different vibe with the ball club starting a series today with the Giants. When you think back to that loss on Friday against Colorado, you start this long road trip, 9-game West Coast trip that'll end in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. That was not a good game for the Brewers, and not a way you want to start a road trip either. But they bounce back, and to win 2 in a row in Colorado, which has been a tough place to play for everyone, especially this year with the talent of the Rockies and a team the Brewers are chasing in the wild card race. That was an impressive rally to win that series. Broxton was a big part of that successful series in Denver as well.
Man, Brewers, they knew they had to have the bats packed, ready to go going into Colorado. That's always a ballpark where you never seem to have enough runs.
Keon hits one to third. Sandoval is there, and there is out number 2.
Hey, sometimes it's good to be a kid. Like on Sunday, September 3rd, the Brewers take on the Nationals, and all kids at Miller Park get a Velcro toss and catch game courtesy of Impark. Not only that, they'll also enjoy a free lunch courtesy of Pick and Save and Blue Bunny. Get your tickets today at Brewers.com.
2 men gone. Here is Orlando Arcia. Boy, after that visit to the mound by Nick Hundley, went out to talk to his young pitcher. He's retired the Brewers in order. A little slow roller. Sandoval is going to let it roll, and he'll pick it foul.
Yeah, good to have a veteran catcher to back up Buster Posey. And this guy Nick Hundley's been around a long time. He kind of gets it. He understands mechanics and what it takes to get a young pitcher through a game. And Stratton very good his last time out. And Stratton actually has a win and a save for the Giants this year. He had a 4-inning save, you know, against the Pirates. That was the end of July.
Bochy and the Giants coaching staff in evaluation mode at this point of the year. They want to win as many games as they can. They've actually played a lot better here lately, but these are opportunities now for Bochy to find out what he has moving forward the next season. on the ground to second base. And a 3-up, 3-down second inning for Stratton. A scoreless first inning, and Rock, his fastball command was the big story in his last start against the Buccos.
Yeah, and we've been talking about it all season long. There have been times where he really hasn't had good command of that pitch, getting too much of the plate. But as you can see, I mean, nothing wrong with it in that game. Had good movement on it. He wasn't really throwing all that hard, but everything on the corners, down in the strike zone, getting a lot of ground ball outs. And you know, Davies in that victory, 6 2/3, 6 hits, 1 run. And needed 101 pitches to pitch into the 7th. Good work.
Davies with that win over the Pirates. Brewers come in with a record of 65-60. 2 games back of the Cubs. The Cubs are off tonight. We'll be watching that scoreboard tonight. Rest of the year, as a matter of fact. And not just watching the Cubs and the Cardinals at this point. Crawford sends one deep to right. And that is going to hook foul. Hit it a long way, but just got out ahead of it. And a long, loud strike makes it 0-2 on Brandon Crawford.
Yeah, Craig Counsell always says very important early in the game for Davies. That's normally when he gives up runs and struggles with his location, and he has been up a lot so far in the first 2 innings.
No balls and 2 strikes to the All-Star shortstop, and a called strike 3. Hit the edge, looked like a little cut fastball from Davies. Crawford has a second take back to the home plate umpire. You couldn't place it any better for Zach.
Yeah, he does. You know, it gives you a little bit of a cut. You know, and that the arm side fastball on the corner away. You can see Vogt sitting right there and doesn't even have to move. And Mark Carlson rings him up.
3rd strikeout for Davies. 1 away for Pablo Sandoval. Boy, isn't it something here? We're in San Francisco in August, and you've got Sandoval and Travis Shaw in the same ballpark. Those 2 were much discussed as Sandoval goes down the line. Fair ball, that'll go to the wall. And the Panda on his way to second with a 1-out double.
Trying to resurrect his career. Things did not go well at all in Boston, and you know, the Giants figuring that maybe coming back here might help them. And 6th double of the year for Sandoval.
Got DFA'd by the Boston Red Sox, returning here to San Francisco, a place he is very comfortable.
That's a pretty good pitch too from Davies, and Sandoval going down and gets it, ripped it down the line. Not much you can do about that. Good changeup.
Sandoval and Shaw battling out that third base spot last year in Boston. Shaw ended up beating out Sandoval. And then the Red Sox trading Shaw to the Brewers. Been a huge story for Milwaukee. Travis Shaw. I tell you, the Red Sox got a good third baseman now. This kid Rafael Devers looks like he is the real deal.
Yeah.
8 home runs in his first 20 games in the big leagues.
And home run he hit against Chapman. Was that last week?
Yeah, last Friday on a 103-mile-an-hour pitch. Hundley takes a strike. It's always interesting. You get to this time of the year, you get inside 40 games left in a season, a 162-game season, and who's going to emerge? The way your roster changes. Could you have imagined that Neil Walker and Travis Shaw are going to be part of the Brewers organization? Stephen Vogt. Think back to the years the Brewers made it to the postseason, some of the key pickups that they had. Of course, CC Sabathia grabs all the headlines when you talk about a late season or mid-season pickup. But there were some key acquisitions for the Brewers. Think about Ray Durham in 2008. And then remember Jerry Hairston and how good he was for the Brewers in 11. Giants have a very similar story in Cody Ross, who had a tremendous postseason.
Yes,
so you never know when those big pickups are going to make an impact.
And the important thing for the Brewers is getting those guys. I mean, the Brewers didn't give up a whole lot. Didn't empty out their minor league system. That was something that David Stern said he wasn't interested in doing. The big prospects.
David Stearns is with the ball club this week in San Francisco, as is Mark Atanasio. The GM and the owner are here together, formulating a plan, I'm sure, for the rest of the month. You can still make trades. Anybody you acquire at this point in the season has to be on the Major League roster by September 1st to be postseason eligible.
Right.
But there are August deals. They call it the waiver trading period. That's how they got Neil Walker. I think Craig Counsell feels pretty good about his ball club right now. Now that Anderson is back as a starter and the way the bullpen is pitching, Brewers don't have many holes right now.
They had a pretty solid bench. I mean, you look at the bench right now. Got some veteran guys, and tonight you got Sogard, VR. Both of those guys can hit left-handed. Pena, Aguilar. Jesus had a terrific series against the Rockies, and Aaron Perez on the bench. I mean, that's a pretty solid bench. Guys that can come up there and get some big hits for you late in the game.
Long battle here with Hundley. Full count to him. Pitch number 7 of the at-bat with Sandoval at second. And Davies gets that ground ball. Walker. 2 outs in the inning. That pitch right there from Zach Davies is the difference in a successful start and one that he has to grind a little bit. When he's commanding that side of the plate, that's when he can be at his best.
Yep, 90 miles an hour. Again, not overpowering, and you got that two-seamer coming back, catching the edge. Hitters can't give up on that pitch. Starts off a couple inches off the corner, and it comes back and ends up being a strike.
He calls it the comeback sinker. Pitch that put Greg Maddux in the Hall of Fame. One of them, anyway. All 7 of Maddox's pitches put him in the Hall of Fame, but that was his lethal weapon, that comeback sinker.
But with Maddux, they all look the same coming out of his hand. Basically, fastball changeup.
Davies working from the windup with Sandoval at third, and a swing and a foul. Ryder Jones at the plate. This is a newcomer to the scene with the Giants. Brandon Belt on the concussion disabled list right now. And so Ryder Jones gets his shot in the big leagues. He's already hit a couple of home runs. Powerful left-handed hitter. Oof, close one. Tight zone tonight by Mark Carlson.
Well, that low strike, I mean, that's kind of league wide. You don't see a lot of guys ringing that pitch up for some reason.
Well, Davies needs pitches like that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Try to change up that time. Good block by Vogt. Keeps Sandoval at third. Sandoval with a 1-out double. Goes to third on the ground out. 2-2 the count to the young hitter, Ryder Jones. Jam shot, little flare, nice and easy out to Walker, and that will retire the side. So Davies has stranded a couple of runners in scoring position. We head to the third.
Between the Brewers and the Giants. Scoops from the clubhouse brought to you by Car Soup. Speaking with Eric Thames in the clubhouse before the game, he was very excited to get his first opportunity to play here at AT Park. He grew up just about 30 minutes or so in San Jose, so he told me he has around 30 people he's expecting at each game of this series, including his parents, his mom Phyllis, his father Vince, his sister Devin as well. A number of family and friends on hand here over this series. He said he grew up a diehard Giants fan, grew up worshiping Barry Bonds, has spent a number of hours just studying him as a hitter, watching highlights, trying to emulate his swing and just his approach as a hitter. So he told me he grew up going to games at Candlestick. They had season tickets there. And he even has a special fan here on the field. His high school coach from Bellarmine College Prep in San Jose is Gary Cunningham, and he's actually the ball man here along the first base side. So Thames said it was really special to have him here as a connection here on the field.
What a great story. Zach Davies with a base hit. Punches one past the second baseman Tomlinson. And the Brewer pitcher with a single to start the third inning. The Ball Dude.
The Ball Dudes, they have them every night. They call them the Ball Dudes. And
69-year-old retired coach of 30 years, Gary Cunningham. Eric Thames, high school coach. Great story, Sophia.
Yeah.
Also, Coach Pat Burrell and Kevin Franson, who played here for the Giants. That's pretty good. A high school coach who's coached 3 major leaguers. Thames on the first pitch pops it up. Got in on his hands, and Sandoval makes a catch for the out. Thames fires that bat away. So one away. Davies at first. Thames quickly retired. He's upset about that one. Trying to breathe it away.
got a lot of pressure on him. He got family and friends in town, the old coach. Yeah, trying to impress.
I saw a number of the Thames clan before the game, including his mother, who is sporting a Navy Eric Thames Brewers jersey. Saw his uncle here. Got a lot of support in the ballpark tonight for Eric Thames, but I would imagine it's a little difficult to play in your hometown. He's still trying to work that one. I don't know. He's grabbing at his right wrist there. I thought maybe he was going into a little bit of a Zen order, but Something might be bothering him.
I don't see one of the athletic trainers around him, which is always good. Anytime you have family and friends, I mean, you know, you're kind of thrown off your routine a little bit. You've got, you know, lunch, taking people to lunch and hanging out, and you have to really manage that, you know, so you really don't get out of your routine too much. I used to deal with that when I went into New York, Yankee Stadium.
Didn't stop you from raking at Yankee Stadium, though, did it? Neil Walker takes a ball.
Now, you know the story. My first game at Yankee Stadium. I don't have to go through that. Didn't end well. Ended up missing the bus to the airport. Team, yeah, it was a disaster.
Well, you weren't in right mind. And even though Thames has been in the big leagues, I mean, this is a new experience for him. He's back in the majors after 3 years in Korea, getting a chance to play in front of a lot of friends and family. Whatever was eating him alive, he has shaken it off. That's a good lesson. And maybe that little spot on his wrist is some kind of release point.
Pressure point. Just
I've never
relax.
heard of. I may have to try that next time. That might be something he picked up in Korea. The tension release.
It's better that than beat up the water cooler.
Walker in a 3-1 count, and he pulls one to first, spinning a throw to second. Oh, it's dropped at second base. The shortstop Crawford over there covering. Everybody safe.
Never had it. Never had it. I mean, a lot of times, you know, second base umpire Fielding Colbreth took his time to decide in his own mind whether Crawford ever had the baseball. I don't think he did. He was trying to get the ball out of the glove so quickly to throw it to first. No, he never did. He dropped it. That's a good call out there by Fielding Colbreth. Good throw, just tried to be too quick with it.
E6 on Crawford, a Gold Glove shortstop. Brewers catch a break. Now 2 on with Ryan Braun coming up. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Ryan walked his last time up.
Yeah, the Brewers are facing two teams in the beginning of this road trip that have played good defense all year. Colorado made 4 errors in yesterday's ball game. They were the best defensive team in the National League. The Giants aren't far behind, and they've already kicked one today.
Now those great World Series teams here in San Francisco, 2010, 2012, 2014, those were all very good defensive teams. They just didn't beat themselves. They had a good lineup. They were clutch,
great
put the ball in play. They never gave away at bats, and they played excellent defense. Braun trying to put the Brewers on the board in this 3rd inning. Franchise leader in home runs is Braun. He is 2 away from 300 in his career. Top 5 in RBIs in franchise history as well. He is 24 RBIs away from 1,000. He's got some milestones in front of him.
And got a lot of years left.
You look at the franchise record book for the Brewers. Braun is also 2nd in extra bases, 3rd in runs, 3rd in total bases, 3rd in triples, 3rd in stolen bases. He's helping rewrite the Brewer franchise record book. Shoots that one foul. Braun in his age 33 season now. Came into the league in 07.
As long as you give him days off, I think he's going to be strong throughout the year. I think maybe the fact that he was on the disabled list 2 different times is going to help him through August and September. He was able to stay in contention. They were in first place most of the time while he was out.
That's Davies at second. The Brewer pitcher singled to start the inning. Braun shatters his bat on his way to third. The throw goes to second, and they do get the out at second base. Davies ends up at third. Crawford takes the force at second. And a fielder's choice for Ryan Braun.
You see Ryan Braun break too many bats. I mean, that ball way inside, way off the inside corner. You can see a part of the bat go flying. But not hit hard enough for the Giants to turn a double play. So Travis Shaw gets a shot.
Shaw got an at-bat with 2 on in the first inning. Gets another chance here in the third. First and third with 2 away. A .908 OPS for Travis Shaw. Has been one of the more productive third basemen in baseball this season.
A legitimate shot at 100 RBIs this year.
Last year drove in 71 for the Red Sox in 145 games. 27 home runs, 80 RBIs. Shaw in the right field, right at Hunter Pence. And that will retire the side, and the Brewers a golden opportunity lost in the third inning. Still scoreless in San Francisco. And here we are in the dead of summer, and it's 63 degrees here in San Francisco. 3 games back, the Brewers to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Top 2 teams go in the wild card. There's a 1-game wild card playoff. Colorado is clear by a half a game, 1 game in the loss column, and then the Brewers 3 back in the loss column. So it's time to start keeping a look at the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. Brewers have not only a great chance to win the division this year, but also a great chance, if they don't win the division, to be in the wild card game. And the way it's all setting up, Rock, you got the Cubs, Cardinals, Rockies, Diamondbacks, Brewers, whoever finds that big winning streak. You know, there's usually one team that comes up with that winning streak that takes them to the finish line.
Yeah, and last month, you know, at the end of last month, you thought that, you know, the 2 wild cards are going to come out of the West. Neither team playing all that well right now. Arizona, they got swept by the Twins. And Colorado just lost 2 out of 3. And we're not playing all that well before the Brewers got to Colorado. So you never know.
Davies facing his mound opponent, Chris Stratton, to start the third inning. Brewers have had 2 good chances to score tonight off Stratton. Stranded 2 with 1 out in the first inning, and then had 2 on with 1 away in the third. The top of this inning, couldn't drive him in. Stratton looks like he's got a pretty good idea at the plate. He doesn't have a hit this year, but that was a pretty good hat.
Yeah. Anybody with a bat in their hand can be dangerous.
Chopper off the mound, or rather off the plate, right toward the mound, and Davies will make the play for out number 1.
Hey, it's the Brewers and Cardinals coming up in a crucial 2-game set at Miller Park. That's Tuesday, August 29th and Wednesday the 30th. Go to Brewers.com to reserve your tickets today. Could be a big series against the Cardinals. 2 against the Cardinals, 4 against the Nationals coming up at home.
Back to the top of the Giants order, and Denard Span, strikeout victim in the first inning. Davies has 3 strikeouts. First time through the batting order, the Giants go 2 for 9 against Davies. 2 Ks, or make it 3 Ks. 3 ground ball outs for Davies, 1 out in the air. Turn it over, second round now. And the fly ball to left, coming in is Braun, hustling all the way, and makes the play for the out. He could sense that ball was dying, and Braun really got on his horse to make that easy on himself at the end. 2 gone now.
Yeah, wind blowing straight out to center field. I'm not sure how it affects the baseball. You got the big scoreboard out there. Could have the reverse effect. Sometimes that's the case. But a nice breeze tonight. Kind of feels good, the weather.
Had the marine layer here in San Francisco. We didn't get a good look at the solar eclipse today.
I had a good shot of it on the television.
Did you watch the NASA feed?
I did not. No.
That was fascinating. There's a lot. I didn't realize all the things they can learn from a solar eclipse. I figured there's a lot of science involved and a lot of things that you could acquire. But man, the depth of the information you can get with a solar eclipse is mind-boggling. I wish I could remember them all now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most extraordinary thing about that was that they were able to predict exactly to the minute when that stuff was going to happen.
Well,
I mean, seriously.
There's another one coming in 2024, Rock. So hopefully you and I will be together and we can go out and watch the eclipse.
Maybe it'll fly right over Milwaukee this time.
I hope so. I saw one note, part of the NASA telecast, that I believe Appleton, Wisconsin will get a full solar eclipse in 2099. Not sure we'll be around for that.
Bummer. Gonna miss it.
3 up, 3 down for Zach Davies. Retires the Giants in order. Eyes are killing me right now.
The Giants as we head to the fourth here at AT Park in San Francisco. Time now for our unlimited baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Some good news for Clayton Kershaw. He's been out since July 24th with a back injury, but today in Pittsburgh he pitched 4 innings in a simulated game through 55 pitches. All went well for Kershaw, so he is slated to make a minor league rehab start in AAA with Oklahoma City on Saturday, and he's looking forward to rejoining the Dodgers, who the Brewers will see at the end of this road trip. And for the Twins, some injury news. Miguel Sano placed on the 10-day disabled list, a stress reaction in his left shin. He's got a 267 average and 28 home runs on the season.
All right, Sophia, thanks. And here we go to the Brewer half of the fourth. Domingo Santana will lead off for Milwaukee. Stephen Vogt, Keon Broxton against the right-hander Chris Stratton, who has walked the tightrope here tonight, but he's been able to get out of a couple of jams. And he's been able to get out of those 2 jams, one in the first, the other in the third, with the best part of the Brewers batting order coming up. Santana bounced out with 2 on in the first inning. That ended the inning.
Yeah, this is not a ballpark that you can rely on home runs to score all your runs. I know the Brewers rely heavily on the long ball. You can do that in Colorado, but not so much here and in Dodger Stadium. Got to manufacture runs. Those hits with runners in scoring position, very important.
Santana hits that one hard to right, but Pence is there. And one away for Stratton and the Giants in the fourth. Hit that right on the button, but right at Hunter Pence. Fly balls go to die in right field in San Francisco. Giants with only 99 home runs this year. That's the fewest in the majors. Brewers with 184. That's third best in the major leagues. And it is interesting when you look at the Red Sox, who have the fewest home runs in the American League, but they lead their division. Go about their business in much different fashion than the Brewers or the Giants. And I think the concern is legitimate for Craig Counsell and company coming into this series. You're hoping to be able to produce some runs, multiple hits in innings with men on base, without so reliant on the home run. As Vogt goes to the opposite field, a base hit. Clean single for Stephen Vogt, and the Brewers with a man on with 1 away.
Man, nice to have that extra left-handed bat in the lineup. Stephen Vogt able to hit that line drive in the left. Craig Counsell, amongst other things with his offense, likes the balance that he has in the batting order. Left-handers, right-handers, got a couple of switch hitters with VR and Walker at his disposal, so a little bit more flexibility.
Here's Keon Broxton now. Broxton bounced to third his last time up, right off the end of the bat. Little foul ball. Keon had a good series in Colorado. 4 hits, including a home run. He drove in 3 against the Rockies. He was hitless against the Giants back in June. So he's 0 for his last 14 against San Francisco this season.
Yeah, everybody likes to talk about the home runs, but Keon got a big hit in the 9th inning yesterday. A 2-strike base hit up the middle that Darnell Cole just couldn't stop talking about after the game. It's not always the home runs or the impressive at-bats. There's a pitch just on the outside corner, shortened his stroke up, hit a line drive up the middle to score a couple of runs. They were important runs, as it turned out, as the Rockies put up a rally in the bottom of the 9th.
1-1 to Broxton. Big swing, had a miss. 1-2 the count. Rockies got 2 in the 9th inning yesterday. Brewers had a 6-run lead. Only disappointing part about the finish of the game yesterday was the fact that Counsell had to use his closer, Corey Knebel, who did notch his 26th save. Had to get the final out with the Rockies threatening. But all in all, a good trip to Colorado and winning 2 out of 3 against the Rockies.
It was an expensive victory because Craig Counsell used every one of his relievers except 2. The only 2 guys in the pen that didn't throw, Hader and Carlos Torres.
6 relievers yesterday, with Chase Anderson coming back from the DL. 5 innings for Chase. Barnes, Drake, Hughes, Swarzak, Jefferson, Knebel. Had a little reunion before the game between Jeremy Jeffress and Will Smith, who's here with the Giants. Tommy John surgery for Will Smith. Bosom buddies, best of friends, both traded away last year. Wave and a miss. Broxton strikes out.
Yeah, Will Smith's been on the DL all season. Giants have missed him.
Yeah, acquired him from the Brewers, hoping to have that big left-handed presence. Boy, Will Smith was so good for the Brewers. But bad break for Bruce Bochy and the Giants, with Will Smith tearing the ligament in his elbow this season. Probably some beginnings of that injury last year. Here's Arcia now with 2 away. Orlando bounced to second his first time up. A little mini vacation for Arcia, a second All-Star break last week. Brewers had 2 scheduled off days, Monday and Thursday, a 2-game series with the Pirates. Arcia, who is dealing with back spasms, did not play in either of those games. Essentially had 5 days off. Didn't play in the last game of the road trip that Sunday prior as well. And the Brewers won both of those games against Pittsburgh.
Man, the depth. Sogar's been playing short when Arcia, gets the day off.
One and 2 to Arcia. Shoots that one into right field. A base hit. Turning his vote. He'll end up at third. The throw comes in from Pence. It's cut off, and now Arcia, he is caught in a rundown. He'll try to stay in it long enough. Now the throw comes to the plate, and Vogt is out. And the inning is over. Bad base running move by the young shortstop. And a good cutoff and relay by the Giants. Vogt cut down at home plate. Still scoreless in San Francisco. Giants are coming up. Fourth inning, Zach Davies back to work. Brewers squandering some opportunities here early in this game. Hey, a reminder, you can guarantee your seat for the Bucks' 50th anniversary return to the Mecca game. It's coming this fall. It's the 43-game Super Pass. Visit foxsportswisconsin.com/upcoming events for details.
Well, let's check out the throw from Hunter Pence. Now here's a veteran guy not airmailing one to third base. Catches Arcia, hits the cutoff man. That'll be 6-3-2 on the put out. I would imagine Arcia thinking that Hunter Penn's going to come up and try to get voted third, but did not. Hit the cutoff man, and they were able to end the inning. That's just good baseball by Hunter Pence.
Yeah, Crawford was right there for it. Arcia trying to stay in that rundown, but Vogt gunned down at the plate. Vogt's never been blessed with great speed, and he's working with that knee brace right now, so he was a dead duck. Now the Brewers did have the pitcher Davies coming up.
I think Stephen Vogt was he was proud of himself to get the third base on that base hit, right? Then he figures he's got to head to home now.
That's a long run for a catcher like Vogt.
No kidding, especially with a knee issue.
He's got that extra baggage on the knee brace. You talked to him about the brace much?
I did. Yeah, I talked to him in Colorado. He said it really doesn't bother him too much except for when there's nobody on base, oddly enough. I mean, when there's a guy on base, he's up on his crouch. He's in that athletic position and really doesn't seem to give him much problems. But when there's nobody on base and there's not 2 strikes or 3 balls, he has to straighten the leg out a little bit more than he normally would.
Have to loosen up the shin guards a little bit.
Take a little pressure off of that knee when he's just sitting down or squatting down, giving a sign.
Knee injury in Pittsburgh is what kept Vogt out of the lineup and on the active roster. That was a collision at home plate while he was catching. Jared Parker in a 3-2 count. Davies deals inside ball 4. He didn't miss by much, but Parker wouldn't bite.
And it looked like he threw the cutter that time, and that's a good take by Parker. Leadoff base runner, first time for the Giants.
Parker's been on twice, single and a walk now. Man on for Hunter Pence now. Davies does get a lot of ground balls, and he could use one right here. Brewers are set up to turn 2.
Already 4 ground ball outs for Davies tonight,
which gives him 192 ground ball outs this season. That moves him inside the top 4 in the National League in ground ball outs. Marcus Stroman of the Blue Jays is the major league leader in ground ball outs.
No surprise there.
No. Then Clayton Richards on the list. Mike Leake of the Cardinals. Ivan Nova of the Pirates. And a strike. A cut fastball from Davies. That cutter he throws is the pitch that works off his sinker. So the sinker would come in on a right-handed hitter. All pitches love company. And if you pitch in pairs, you have to have one that gets you off the other. Now, wave and a miss by Pence.
So basically, doesn't have anything out of his hand that's straight. You know, curveball, the changeup's got good movement going down and into a right-hander, away to a lefty.
Has him 0-2. Struck him out last time up. And Pence able to lay off. Good block back there by Vogt. Keeps the double play intact. The ever fidgeting Hunter Pence.
About as unorthodox as it gets, but it works for him. Been a terrific career.
About as unorthodox as it gets. Remember when he came up for the first time with the Astros? We watched him take batting practice. Looked like he had some low voltage just coursing through his veins.
Right, you know, batting practice, and you know the way he throws, he runs, and you figure this guy's going to last about a week.
Right.
This guy's had a terrific season, career. A gamer.
Well, that 2012 World Series run was due in large part to the success of Hunter Pence and Buster Posey. Pence was, aside what he was doing on the field, was the big cheerleader as well for the Giants. Pence takes a ball. Boy, Davies just picking around the edges.
Yeah, I didn't miss by much. Borderline up and away.
Pence now in his 11th year in the big leagues. Been an all-star 3 times. And he swings and fouls out and away. Just got a piece.
Cutter's been a good pitch for him tonight. Seems like he's throwing more of those than the 2-seamer. Go with what's working.
Coming off a win his last start against the Pirates. Trying to lead the Brewers to 3 out of 4 on this road trip. Giants have Crawford due next. Parker looks like he wants to run, and Davies sensing that as well. Works him back to the base. Two and two the count. And another throw to first. A little spin out by Parker.
Yeah,
soft turf over there.
And he does look like he might want to take off here.
Parker stole a base in the first inning.
On a no throw. Vogt thought it was strike 3.
The combination of Davies and Vogt. Vogt does not throw well. He's a good defensive catcher in that he blocks the ball well, handles the pitching staff well. But Davies is very good at holding runners, so he counterbalances that a little bit with a running game. Davies deals. Pence on the ground. Arcia is over. He's got it. Flip to the bag, and it's dropped by Walker. That was some play by Arcia, but a little too hot to handle for Neil Walker.
Yeah.
And everybody safe.
Yeah, heck of a play by Arcia, but you know, Walker was coming in hot at second base. He was running hard, looking for the bag, and then that bare hand attempt, you know, not able to hold on to it. Another ground ball out. That's going to be a base hit. It should be. There's no error on anybody there. And Walker just not able to hold on. How about the athleticism of Orlando Arcia and the presence of mind to be able to flip that ball, falling down in a perfect flip. Unfortunately, the Brewers not able to get an out on it. Well, that's a terrific play.
The ground he covers, I thought that was a sure base hit up the middle. Arcia closed the gap quickly. I think if Walker, if he just is content with the out, the lead out, not trying to turn 2, he's trying to barehand that ball to turn 2 there. You're not going to get Pence anyway, I don't think.
No, I mean that's a 1-out play at best.
But you're right, Walker was busting it over to the bag. His momentum taking him away from the throw, the feed by Arcia. 2 on, nobody out, and the dangerous Brandon Crawford, who's been a slumping hitter here recently. He hammered one foul off the wall his first time up. Looked like it had home run distance, but he just pulled it, got out ahead of it a little bit. Best scoring chance for the Giants tonight. 2 on to start the inning. A walk and an infield hit. And Crawford lines one. That is fair. Bounces off the sidewall. Santana recovers. A run is in. Parker. They will hold Pence. And the Giants are on the board as Brandon Crawford delivers with an RBI double.
No, that baby hit the line. It looked like that wasn't fair by much. Got the bat head out, and Crawford rips it down the line, so the Giants strike first. Boy, not fair by much. That one right down the middle, 90 miles an hour. Check this out. Look where it lands. Right on the line, or just inside that line, and with nobody out, the Giants not willing to risk Pence getting thrown out at home. They keep him at third base.
Brewers took a look at it in the clubhouse just to see if there was any angle that showed that to be foul. It was not, and we play on here. Second and third, nobody out. A run is in, and here is Sandoval. Sandoval, who had a double his last time up, had a good cut at that one. This is the good shape Sandoval right here. The in shape version. maybe was humbled a little bit. He was badly out of shape with the Boston Red Sox last year. He knows his career is at a little bit of a crossroads, and he's trying to find it again here in San Francisco, a place that made him famous.
Man, one of the toughest outs in baseball when he was with the Giants the first time. But you don't get unlimited amount of opportunities to play in this game in the big leagues.
Signed a big contract with the Red Sox. Red Sox will be paying him for a while. But designated for assignment, which meant he could sign with any team. And it made sense that he'd want to come back to San Francisco. Probably should have never have left San Francisco. Still on a 3-year, $53 million deal that the Red Sox signed him to. There's a strike. 2-2 the count on the Panda. "30 years of age now, Sandoval. And he was along for the ride, all three of those World Series teams. Got jammed, a pop-up in the infield. Travis Shaw is there. He's got it for the out. That's a big out for Davies. It's the first out of the inning. Runners have to hold their ground.
Yeah, good pitch up and in. It was off the plate. And Sandoval jams himself, an easy out. You can see that pitch way off that inside corner. A little aggressive was Sandoval on that. And an easy out.
One piece to the puzzle for Davies. Still 2 to go with runners at second and third. Here is Hundley now. This is a key hitter for Davies right now. There is a scenario you could, if you retire Hundley, you could walk Ryder Jones to get to the pitcher.
Right.
So this could be the way out of the inning, but it's going to have to pass through the 7th place hitter of the Giants, Nick Hundley.
And the Brewers have the infield back. I mean, they will concede 1 run. They don't want to bleed or going over the infield and allow 2 runs to score. So they're back. The only guy that's up halfway is Thames at first.
No balls and a strike on Hundley. And a swing and a ground ball. Walker dives. It's going to score a run. Walker makes the play to get the out. But Hundley drives one in. It's 2-0 now, San Francisco. The second out is recorded.
Man, nice play by Walker, smothering it. Knew he had some time. The catcher was running to first base. Able to smother it, take his time, and make a good throw to first.
Well,
didn't rush it.
He took up a big divot out at second base. So 2 runs are in. Hundley with an RBI is 22nd of the year. RBIs from Crawford and Hundley in this inning. And they're going to walk Jones. Intentional pass to put Jones on, and the pitcher Stratton coming up now. Stratton bounced to the mound his last time up. It's only his 6th at-bat of the season. As Rock mentioned, he's been pitching out of the bullpen a little bit, just now into the rotation and getting regular at-bats. Yeah, a little defensive swing and a roll out to first to end the inning. So Davies comes out of that one with just 2 scoring. Could have been a whole lot worse, but the Giants are on the board. We head to the 5th in San Francisco. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota. Let's go places.
The Giants take a 2-0 lead here at AT Park as we head to the 5th. Time now for our minor league scouting report, brought to you by the UW Whitewater Athletics. And Cody Ponce, Mudcats pitcher, went 7 1/3, gave up just 1 run on 3 hits, 2 walks for him on the outing, and 5 strikeouts as well. So he improves to 8-8 with a 3.45 earned run average for the Mudcats. And in each of his last 2 starts, he's only allowed 1 run while pitching into the 7th in each of those. So a good outing for Cody Ponce. He continues to improve. He was the 2nd-round draft pick in 2015.
This guy keeps showing up, Cody Ponce, doesn't he? I mean, he's had a great year. He's a California native. Cody Ponce pitching for the Mudcats in A-ball. Who knows? We might see him in the big leagues very soon.
Yeah, the minor league season's winding down. Not many games left.
End of the month. We'll put away the minor league season. A lot of the Brewers affiliates will be in the playoffs this year. Zach Davies, the Brewer pitcher, will start it for Milwaukee. Remember, Arcia had the base hit in the 4th inning with 2 outs, but then got caught in a rundown. The last out came during that rundown at home plate. Giants cut down Stephen Vogt trying to score, and then San Francisco flips it with 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. RBIs from Brandon Crawford and Nick Hundley.
You hate to see an inning for Davies in that the bottom of that 4th, a leadoff walk. That's never a good sign. Good start.
1-2 the count, and a slow roller foul. Another night game tomorrow, and then the finale of the series on Wednesday will be an afternoon affair. 2:45 first pitch in the Central Time Zone. That's a 2 o'clock airtime. Davies hits it right off the pitcher, right to Sandoval, who throws him out.
Boy, hit that one up right on the barrel and got a piece of the pitcher, and looks like he's going to be all right. And Davies thrown out by Sandoval. Good play by Sandoval at 3rd. How about Davies barreling up Stratton a couple of times? Got him right on the rear end.
As they say, hit him right in the brain.
Yeah. That's about as good a spot as there is to get hit, I guess.
That putout goes 1 to 5 to 3. That's bad luck for Davies. That caromed right to Sandoval, who has a very strong throwing arm, and he makes the first out. Here's Thames now back to the top of the Brewers order. The man from San Jose, back in the Bay Area, playing against the Giants, a team he grew up rooting for. Big Barry Bonds fan, Eric Thames. He saw a lot of games here at AT Park, back then called Pac Bell.
Elbow guard like Barry used to wear. Well, he used to get suited up, Barry Bonds, didn't he? All that armor on the arm.
Couldn't get one by him. Barry Bonds ended up as the hitting coach with the Marlins. That didn't last long. 762 career home runs. He was in the news a little bit because of the comments by Giancarlo Stanton the other day. Somebody asked Stanton, who's on a home run binge right now, has 44 home runs to lead all of baseball. They asked him what he thought the most significant homer number is, as Thames hits a hot one over to first. Out number 2. Bonds has the single season home run record, but Giancarlo Stanton said 61 is still the number in his mind. A little bit of a diss to his old hitting coach.
Well, that's a loaded question, isn't it? That's one of those questions that you answer, you can't win.
Makes you think something was going on behind the scenes with Stanton and Barry Bonds as hitting coach.
Yeah. More than meets the eye.
Bonds, unlike Mark McGwire, didn't last long in the coaching ranks. McGwire's actually had a nice career as a coach. 2 outs for Neil Walker. At the plate, presented by Wendy's. His single in the 1st inning. He was left stranded in at second base in that first inning. Brewers left 2 in the first, stranded 2 in the third, left a man last inning. Ryan Braun hoping to hit this inning. He's due next. Walker's been on twice. Interesting that Walker, who draws the walk here, he's playing second base with the glasses, but at the plate not wearing the glasses. I don't know if it just takes the glare away or what.
Might have to get here early tomorrow and ask him about that.
That's a Sophia Minnaert situation.
Yeah.
That's the Emmy Award-winning reporter who will be all over that. You never know. She could find out during the game today. That's how she goes. I'm not sure I've seen a player do that. So that will get Braun to the plate. He's walked in the first, had a fielder's choice in the third inning. And Braun takes a strike, fastball right down the middle.
Maybe he's got the the long distance vision issues and not so much 60 feet away. It's got to be it, right?
That's one attempt at analysis. I don't know what has a glasses wearer often. There's a bouncer over to third. Sandoval, low throw, but dug out by Jones, and the side is retired. We got a man on it, though. We're going to find out. America must know.
Nothing lead for the Giants here in the fifth, and the Brewers' wives play an important role in the community outreach efforts by the team with their commitment to several important causes. Each summer, the Brewers' wives team up with Brewers Community Foundation to raise funds through a number of special events with proceeds earmarked for various organizations in the greater Milwaukee area.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Here we go to the Giants half of the fifth inning. Giants lead 2-0. Zach Davies back to work. And a big swing and a foul. Lead man up, Denard Span. Third time through the batting order now for Davies. Giants get 2 in the fourth. RBIs from Brandon Crawford and Nick Hundley. Changeup misses low. So when you see this stat, Rock, 9 of 19 first pitch strikes, what does it tell you about Zach Davies?
Yeah, you would think that things were not going well for him, but it's not about so much that first pitch strike as it is that 1-1 pitch. And exactly that's what he did. I mean, a 1-1 pitch, it really puts the hitter on the defensive or on the aggressive. 1-2, so much different than a 2-1 count.
Back-to-back changeups from Davies. Span didn't like that call from home plate umpire Mark Carlson. 1-2 pitch. Tried to bust a fastball in there. Span doesn't bite.
Yeah, that comeback sinker.
He's got a lot of movement on his pitches tonight. That changeup was really diving. And a swing and a miss, and the follow-through clocks Stephen Vogt.
And a foul tip.
Yeah, he did get a piece. You're right. With a follow-through. Good thing Vogt's wearing that helmet. We were just talking about that earlier today. Bam, right across the face.
Yeah, helmet really didn't come into play, and he was fortunate. That could have hit him right on the jaw. Might have got a piece of him.
Span just got a piece to stay alive. There's a called strike 3. This time Davies gets the benefit of a call and a strikeout to start the 5th inning.
Yeah, that pitch good 2 inches off the outside corner, and Mark Carlson rings it up. 87, another cutter. That's been a good pitch for him, and Vogt makes it look good. Watch the way Vogt catches this baseball. And Mark Carlson liked it.
Little jam shot. Thames is back. He's got it for the out. 1 pitch and 1 out to Tomlinson. And a chance for Davies now to make this a quick inning.
Man, he needs it too after that last inning. Hey, tonight's time of the game winner, Sportsman's Bar and Grill in Cedar Grove, if they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. They get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Say hello to all of our friends in Cedar Grove. Probably got a packed house tonight at Sportsman's. 2 outs, and Jarrett Parker has been a tough at-bat for Davies here tonight. Parker's reached twice. Had a single and a stolen base in the 1st inning. Walked and scored in the 4th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here is the swing pitch for Davies. These 1-1 counts Rock was talking about. It can change an at-bat. Ooh, just missed. Went with a little cut fastball, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, the 1-1 pitch determines who has the hammer. Is Davies ahead in the count, or is the hitter?
Parker hits it sharply to right. Base hit. On base for the 3rd time. Thought about 2. Santana with a very strong throwing arm, almost daring him to run there, and Parker wisely holds his ground at first.
Yep, Davies had the 2-1 count. He had to throw a strike. Pretty good changeup, but you know, Parker able to wade back. This kid looks like he's got a pretty good hack up there. That's a good swing, and not a bad pitch by Davies on a fastball count. Goes with the changeup, and Parker hits it hard into right field.
2 for 2 of the walk. He scored a run as well, has a steal, and it gets Hunter Pence to the plate with 2 outs. Pence reached on an infield hit his last time up, and he's up there hacking. Base hit right center. Blocks it over to cut it off. Parker turns and heads to 3rd, and the Giants get something going here with 2 outs. Back-to-back singles, Parker and Pence.
Giants starting to make some pretty good contact on Davies. And first pitch, he's got that high leg kick. Davies 1 out over the plate. Well, 2 outs, nobody on. It pretty easily too for Zach, and next 2 hitters barrel him up.
Got him at the corners for Brandon Crawford. Drove in the first run of the game with a double last inning. Dangerous hitter for Zach Davies. Giants up 2-0, threatening for more with 2 outs in the 5th. And he spins one in. There's that cut fastball. Davies looks like he's got good stuff tonight.
Yeah, good movement. It looks like the Giants have laid off the changeup quite a bit tonight.
Curveball this time, gets away from Vogt, not far enough to score the run. Both runners hold their ground.
Yeah, Davies throwing a few good changeups that the Giants have kind of just looked at. Parker actually hit a line drive in the right for a base hit this inning on a changeup.
Never met a pitcher that wasn't paranoid, and when you are throwing the way Davies is, and yet you're seeing either no swings or good swings on the changeup, it makes you feel like maybe you're tipping pitches, or somehow the Giants know what's coming. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Crawford leans out on one, a fly ball to center routine for Broxton, and that will retire the side. So Davies leaves a couple. 2-0 San Francisco. We're on our way to the 6th inning. Piece of trivia there. They still play it here in San Francisco at the ballpark. Legendary tune. Travis Shaw will lead off for the Brewers, trying to get something going offensively against Chris Stratton. Rock, they've been knocking at the door on a few occasions, but have yet to score.
Yeah, best scoring opportunities for the Brewers the first and third innings.
Travis Shaw in the air to left field. Parker is there. And one away.
Yeah, Parker's only had 1 3-up, 3-down inning. That was his second.
Brings up Domingo Santana, who's 0 for 2 tonight. He's on the Powerball home run leaderboard. Santana with 20 home runs for the year. Brewers have 4. Have hit the 20 home run number. Thames and Shaw setting the pace with 27. The Giants' best home run hitter is Hunter Pence. He's got 11. Got a team that hits the fewest home runs in the majors, the Giants.
Have 4 guys in double digits. You can't rely on the home run in this ballpark. We've been talking about it the entire game.
For whatever reason, the Brewers have really struggled here over the years. Most of that is because the Giants have had one of the best teams in the big leagues during this stretch. But the Brewers have lost 14 of their last 18 games at AT Park.
Well, the pitching for the Giants has always been very good. Always up amongst league leaders in team earned run average. And we've been talking about it. You know, the Brewers historically have been a big home run hitting ball club. They rely a lot throughout the years on the home run, and that just doesn't happen a lot here in this ballpark.
Giants, one of the wild card teams last year. They finished 4 back of the Dodgers last season. They finished second in their division. Played the Cubs in the division series. Giants won the wild card game and then lost to the Cubs in the division series last season. Little tapper to the mound. And Patton will make the play. 2 quick outs for him here in the 6th inning. So many injuries for the Giants. Brandon Belt, Joe Panik, Will Smith gone for the year. Johnny Cueto has missed a ton of games with blisters. Michael Morse. They've had 3 players, or currently have 3 players in the concussion protocol right now. Brandon Belt, Michael Morse, and Joe Panik. A wave and a miss by Vogt. Madison Bumgarner missing significant time this year. He's back now, but missed 75 games with a shoulder injury. Big curveball strike from Patton.
Been a good pitch for him. You know, locating well the fastball. The curveball's been very good.
Vogt had a single his last time up. He's down 0-2 now. And a sharp breaking ball misses down. That's a good look at the 2 breaking pitches of Stratton. He's got that sweeping curveball to get over right, and then that one had some purpose on it.
Yeah, a little harder to get the swing and miss.
See what he has in mind here. 1-2. Another one down in the dirt. Vogt doesn't bite. Two and two the count. And Vogt fouls it away. Patton over 100 pitches now. The bullpen is active for the Giants. Matt Cain, which still sounds hard to say, is warming up in the bullpen.
Yeah, in the pen. That's crazy, huh?
And he is ready to come in. If Vogt could reach, might see a pitching change. Vogt just lays the bat on it down the left field line. Long run for Parker, who makes the catch for the out. That'll probably be it for Patton. 6 strong innings, no runs. It's 2-0 Giants.
AT Park in San Francisco. Looking for the Brewers to come back. They're down 2-0 here in the 6th. Neil Walker back out at second base, and we have an update for you on the glasses. So he wears them on the field, but not at home plate. And Hernan Perez had actually put on the glasses here in the dugout. So I asked him if he knew the story behind it. He thought that it was likely just for wind protection, because he told me they weren't prescription glasses. They were normal, and there appears to be no shading on them. So obviously not for the lights. So he believes they're probably just for wind protection, but we'll confirm that with Neil Walker after the game.
That is terrific reporting right there. Sandoval lines one to right. It's on a hop to Santana. And Sandoval with his second hit of the game off Davies.
Yeah, they're clear. I mean, it's not like there's any glare. Maybe they're glare glasses. I don't know. Who knows? But
well, there is a little wind whipping up here. It's always cool in the summertime. Your eyes start to water a little bit.
They dry
I have
out.
not seen him wear glasses defensively. That's what struck me about him. So there's always a reason, and Sophia's always there to find out. Good work.
Little help from Hernan Perez.
He's not doing anything right now.
He was just warming up Davies between innings. I think he had the glasses on too.
Now that base hit by Sandoval starts the Brewer bullpen in action as Hundley takes a strike. Jeremy Jeffress in the near shot. Oliver Drake near the stands. You would see Drake for a left-handed batter. That is Ryder Jones due next if Hundley reaches. Got Denard Span, a lefty at the top of the order as well. Well, Davies is due up third in the 7th, so you know Counsell would love to get him through this inning here, but you can't take the risk to fall behind anymore. Davies gets a lot of ground ball outs, and he could use one right now against Hundley, who's hit the ball on the ground twice. Both of his outs are to second base. There goes the runner. Hit and run is on. And Hundley fouls it away. A rare hit and run these days.
A little old school. You know, Bruce Bochy, why not, right? Yeah, get the runner in motion. Sandoval, not that fast. Yeah, Hundley almost got hit by that pitch, but able to get a bat on it.
That's a manager who has as good of a feel of the game as any manager, especially in the postseason. His bullpen usage is legendary in those World Series winning years, and he's sensing maybe a double play ball was a possibility, so he put the runner in motion.
We always talk about how good the Giants bullpens have been over the years, and maybe, you know, the way he uses the bullpen, one of the reasons why they've been so good. They say that's the toughest job a manager has. Managing the pen, getting guys in, giving guys rest, putting them in positions to succeed.
Especially in the postseason, right? When those late game relief appearances, they mean so much. The game is on the line.
He's had some good ones though over the years.
1-2 the count, and a shot right to third. Right in the glove of Shaw. Sandoval quickly retreats, first out of the inning on a bullet by Hundley.
Yeah, Sandoval not running on this pitch. Good for the Giants. And that one right at Travis Shaw, didn't even have to move.
Meeting at the mound, Vogt wanting to discuss this with Davies. Ryder Jones coming up. One man out. Giants have a runner at first. They lead 2-0. In the air, left field, slicing, long run for Braun, and Braun is there to make the catch right near the bullpen mound.
Was that Matt Cain? Matt Cain, he tried to get out of the way, but he actually ran right at Braun. Made that catch a little bit more difficult for Ryan.
It's one of the few ballparks that still have the bullpen mounds in the field of play. Very similar to the old Wrigley Field setup. Now the bullpens are in the outfield at Wrigley. And Braun with a nice catch in foul territory. Had to cover a lot of ground. Every outfielder who works the corners knows where that mound is here in San Francisco. That has taken down a few outfielders in the past.
Yeah, you're running at full speed. You forget about the mound and you do a face plant.
2 outs. Still a runner at first. Sandoval. Giants have Carlos Moncrief pinch hitting into the line for Stratton. 6 shutout innings tonight.
That's back-to-back pretty good starts for him.
In there, a strike. They'll cut fastball on the edge. 1-1 to count to the pinch hitter, Carlos Moncrief. Sandoval led the inning off with a single to right.
He's got about as short of a lead as you're ever going to see a position player take out there at first. He can fall down and his belt's going to hit first.
That's a lead, A, to tell you he's not running, B, to say don't even bother throwing over here. I'd rather not get my uniform dirty at this point. 2-1 pitch, a swing and a miss.
He looks ready to go either way, though.
Either way. Nothing to see over here, says the Panda. Moncrief is 2 for 10 as a pinch hitter for the Giants. Hitting for Stratton here with 2 outs. Zach Davies, his spot in the batting order due up third. Probably be his last hitter regardless. And he misses low. Good block back there by Vogt.
Well, 3-2, 2 outs. The Pan is going to be running this time. Maybe he'll get a little extra on the lead.
They will not hold him on. Ames plays behind him.
Or maybe he won't get a little extra.
He takes off and a called strike 3. Down he goes. Davies issues a leadoff single but retires the next 3. And that'll probably do it for him. Both starters are going to be out. Right now the Brewers are down a pair. We head to the 7th. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer.
Hey, 2-0 Giants as we head to the 7th inning here at AT Park, and the Brewers square off against the boys from the nation's capital as the first place Nationals come to Milwaukee for a big 4-game series Thursday, August 31st through Sunday, September 3rd. Reserve your spot today at brewers.com.
Matt Cain is the new Giants pitcher, and we go to the 7th inning. Cain now working out of the bullpen. Made 21 starts this year. This is his 3rd occasion to pitch out of the bullpen. Keon Broxton, a swing and a miss.
Yeah, last started against Miami in Miami on August 16th. So working out of the pen. Rough season for Cain. Earned run average over 5.
Brewers will have Broxton, Arcia, and then a pinch hitter for Davies. 2-0 San Francisco, and a hot ground ball. Crawford is there, bobbles, recovers, and the throw is in time for the out. That is a very close play. The Brewers will certainly take a look at this one. Normally as sure-handed as it gets, Brandon Crawford, but he's had a couple of fumbles tonight.
Well, Pat Murphy talking to his guys, taking a look at it. This one right off the glove, kicks it right to him. Able to barehand it and get the out at first at this point. And it looks like they got him. Yep.
Bang, bang at first base.
And a good recovery from Crawford. Able to pick it up, and that strong throw to first, able to get him out. Yep.
Yeah, good call over there. First base umpire is C.B. Buckner. So no challenge. One man out. Here is Arcia. Takes a ball low. Orlando with a single his last time up. He singled to right. 1 for 2 on that play. Arcia rounding first. Got caught in a rundown, and Stephen Vogt had gone to third. And then the Giants execute the cutoff. Arcia got caught in no man's land. He was not expecting the first baseman Jones to come in behind him there, and it ended the inning. Arcia did get in a rundown long enough for Vogt to try to score, but Vogt was thrown out at the plate. That was back in the 4th inning. Brewers have not had much since that time.
They have not had a man at second base since the 3rd inning.
Stranded 2 in the 1st, stranded 2 in the 3rd. 2-2 the count on Arcia. Little roller out to second base. Tomlinson makes the play for out number 2. Well, Jonathan VR will bat now. So Counsell goes to his bench. That's the end of the night for Davies, who is sitting on a hook right now.
And another good outing for Zach. Unfortunately, a couple of runs back in the 4th inning, coming after a leadoff walk.
Well, think about that play too off the bat of Pence, that ground ball that Arcia made a terrific play on, but as he tried to flip acrobatically to second base, Walker dropped the ball. It was scored as a hit, rightly so, but who knows where that inning goes if Walker's able to hang on to that backwards flip by Arcia. Would have been a spectacular play, but it could have changed the fate of Davies in that inning. That was a 2-run inning. Davies did a good job getting out of that inning with no further damage.
And the batter before a walk, a leadoff walk. No good things happen when you walk the leadoff batter. He walked 2, one of them intentionally in that same inning.
VR pinch hitting for Davies, trying to get the lineup turned over with Thames due next. You'd love to get Thames up there with a chance to tie the game. VR 3 for 14 as a pinch hitter. And down he goes. Kane strikes him out. Matt Kane with a 3-up, 3-down 7th. Brewers go in order. Stretch time in San Francisco. 2-0 Giants. To the Giants half of the 7th inning now. And with Bernard Span coming up, Oliver Drake is on to pitch.
Yeah, we saw Drake in yesterday's game against the Rockies retire the only 2 batters that he faced. That was in the 7th inning. Craig Counsell likes to use him against lefties.
The reverse splits of Oliver Drake, meaning he has better numbers against left-handed batters than he does right-handed hitters. Normally, the same side hitters that you face, those are your better numbers, but that's why they call it reverse splits, because lefty's only hitting .252. So even though the Brewers only have 1 lefty in their bullpen, they use Drake as that second lefty. At least he pitches in those situations.
And it's important to have another guy other than Josh Hader, because when Hader comes into the game, normally the Brewers don't like to use him for 2 or 3 days. New to the bullpen is Hader. He's done a good job.
Two balls and a strike on Bernard Span. Got some gray in that beard. He's had a good career as well. Always one of the more unusual hitting styles, and he slaps one by Thames. It's another leadoff hit for the Giants. That is back-to-back innings with their leadoff man on, and 3 of the last 4 innings with their lead batter reaching.
And it's so important for Drake to be ahead in the count so we can go to that splitter. That was a 2-1 pitch. Went with the fastball, and Span's still quick on the inside corner, particularly when you're not throwing very hard. So decent speed at first base.
Here's Kelby Tomlinson now. Giants got a good start from Chris Stratton here tonight. 6 shutout innings. He's run his scoreless inning streak to 12 2/3 over his last 2 starts.
Man, he showed a pretty good curveball today. Curveball, fastball was on the corners.
Meanwhile, Kane entering the 7th inning, retiring the side in order. So between Stratton and Kane, they've retired the last 7 Brewers at the plate and 9 of the last 10. Brewers will have the top of the order coming up in the 8th. Thames, Walker, and Braun. Bochy has Mark Melancon loosing in his bullpen. Two balls and a strike. Lead man on. And a swing and a miss. It's a sneaky fastball by Oliver Drake.
Yep. And behind the count again. Went with the fastball just like he did to Span. He kept that one down in the zone.
Brewers got Drake from the Baltimore Orioles. He was taken off their major league roster at the beginning of the season. That was a deal in mid-April. He's been a good pitcher. That one gets by Vogt. It's a strikeout to the batter, but Span goes to second. So you get the K, but it is a wild pitch that allows Span to advance. And one out with a runner at second base now.
Splitter down in the dirt, and Stephen Vogt probably upset with himself. Normally that pitch is going to end up down in the dirt. Got to be ready to block it. That eliminates the possible double play to end the inning. First base occupied, and that's why Tomlinson out automatically. Don't have to throw to first, but Span in scoring position.
They don't make excuses for Vogt. He'll tell you he should block that, but it's got to be a bit unusual feel for him with his legs with the knee brace on. He's just coming back from the DL, just returned this past weekend.
It's got to slow him down a little bit. His quickness behind home plate has to be somewhat different.
Catchers need your legs, and you get late in the game, fatigue sets in, especially if you haven't been catching a lot lately. Parker's had a big night tonight. 2 hits, a walk. He scored a run, stole a base, made a good catch in left field. On a night when the Giants are without Buster Posey, he is available to pinch hit, just getting a night off from the starting lineup. In the air to left field. Braun is over, and there is out number 2.
They commemorate the inaugural Players Weekend, August 25th through the 27th, with limited edition Brewers jerseys and tees featuring player pick nicknames, where the gear the crew will wear on the field during this weekend showdown with the Dodgers, while available while supplies last at MLBshop.com.
I like those jerseys.
Yeah, those are 2 tough words in a promo.
What is that one?
You're starting out with commemorative and inaugural. Can't be doing that.
That's back-to-back multi-syllable words.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's asking a lot out of you.
That's not good. We gotta cut that up.
These are the dog days of summer.
Spread those big words out.
Maybe we let Sophia handle that one tomorrow.
I think so. We could dish that one off.
Hunter Pence with 2 outs. Span with a big lead at second base. I think he discovered he broke his bat.
The Giants have been pretty good with runners in scoring position as of late, but not tonight. And 1 for 9 are the Giants. That was that Crawford RBI.
That put the Giants on the board. 2-run fourth. Pence, a wave and a miss. There's that splitter by Drake. It has a screwball action to it. So he splits the grip, but he really turns it over. You don't hear the phrase screwball anymore, but It's like a screwball. It basically comes in there like a left-handed curveball.
Yeah, it might have a little bit more on it than your classic screwball. You know, Teddy Higuera used to throw one of those.
I asked Oliver about it. I said, what do you call it? He goes, well, it's a screwball, but I split the grip, so I just go with a splitter, because every time I would tell people it's a screwball, then I'd have to explain what a screwball is.
Right.
So I quit that. You just tell them it's a splitter and move on.
Good idea.
And then, of course, I pinned him down for about a 15-minute conversation about it. Now that I think about it, I think he was giving me a hint that maybe he didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, move on.
You know, I should have recognized that at that moment.
Yeah, well, you'll learn.
That's why I need to stick with you more. Big pitch coming here. 3-2, 2 outs. Span at second. Pence at the plate. And he lays off. They'll ask if he went. Did not. Checks his swing. And Pence with a good at bat and a very good take. Giants have runners at first and second now. And Drake is going to have to face Crawford, which is the preferable matchup. Not that you're trying to pitch around Pence, but Counsell would rather see him against the left-hander.
Yeah, we talked about the one hit for the Giants. A runner in scoring position was a double down the line. And that got things going on the board. The first run of the game. And the Badger Mutual Insurance play of the game. And Brandon Crawford RBI double. That came in the 4th inning.
And here he is with runners at first and second. 2 outs in the 7th. Bouncer, first base. Thames has it. Drake is there, and that will retire the side. And Oliver Drake puts up a scoreless 7th inning. We're on our way to the 8th. Brewers are down 2-0 to the Giants. Inning. Don't forget, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports Wisconsin and Brewers baseball with you wherever you go. Getting late here, game 1 of this 3-game series with the Giants. Brewers are down, trying to drum up a little offense. As we take a look at the Powerball home run leaderboard, Brewers the most home runs in the National League, tied with the Nationals, 184 long balls this year. But they are going to be hard to come by the next 6 games, with 3 here in San Francisco and then 3 in Los Angeles at Dodger Stadium. Mark Melancon on to pitch for the Giants, pitching in a setup role now for Bruce Bochy.
Yeah, he was on the disabled list for a while, came back end of July, and then Sam Dyson picked up from the Texas Rangers. He's now closing, had a forearm injury. He's back. And numbers from Melanson, 11 out of 15 and a 365 earned run average. He specializes in that cut fastball, throws a lot of them.
At one time was one of the best in the game closing games. Has not been that kind of pitcher with the Giants. Eric Thames leads off. First pitch a little bit low for a ball. Thames, Walker, and Braun due up first, then Shaw if anybody reaches. Big shift is on for Thames. 3 infielders on the right side. And that one's in there, a strike.
Yeah, pretty much straight away in the outfield and a big shift on the infield.
Ball and a strike on Thames. Takes it low. Melanson features that cut fastball. He learned that pitch from the greatest cut fastball pitchers ever, Mariano Rivera. Melanson came up with the Yankees, was pitching in the bullpen, soaking up all that knowledge, and now he doesn't have a Rivera cutter, but it's close. And when he was at his best, Rock, it was about as good as there was in the big leagues. The year he saved 51 for the Pirates and almost exclusively cut fastballs.
Yeah, one after the other. Late breaking, not a whole lot of spin on it you can pick up. And
on the ground with the shift on. Giants have a man there, Tomlinson, for out number 1.
And he's lost some velocity. That last one at 90 miles an hour. Throw the cutter and the curveball. He used to be in the mid-90s with that cutter. That's a big difference. He was on the disabled list with a forearm injury. A little bit banged up.
One away for Neil Walker, Melanson's former Pittsburgh teammate. In there, a strike. Tonight, Walker reached base all 3 times. He's 1 for 2, has a single and a walk. Strike 2 on Walker, both right on the edge.
Yeah, not much you can do with those. They just hope they're not called strikes. Both of them were.
Melanson went on the DL in late June, didn't return until the 12th of August. This is his 5th appearance since returning to the Giants. He has not allowed an earned run since coming back. Matter of fact, he hasn't allowed an earned run since June 18th. Gave up 4 runs in that game, and then a couple of outings after that he was on the DL. You knew something wasn't right. There's a swing and a miss, and Walker is down on strikes.
And to throw that pitch too, the curveball. It's a good one. Cutter, curveball, gets Walker on the big curveball that time.
Melanson has given up 10 earned runs all year, right? 6 of those came in that 2-game stretch. Had 2 blown saves. So that's why you never know about relievers' earned run average. So you look at his ERA and it's good, but it's not dominant as it has been. But he's every bit the dominant pitcher that he was at this point since coming back from the DL. Bottom line is, you don't want to get behind getting into the late game relievers of the Giants.
That's kind of the way it's always been.
0-2 to Braun. And he got him. So Melanson, impressive 8th inning, retires the side in order with back-to-back strikeouts. All right, here we go to the bottom of the 8th. Giants coming up. Sandoval will lead off. Carlos Torres is on the mound for the Brewers. Drake works a scoreless 7th. And here is Torres now.
He's putting together some pretty good outings. He pitched on Friday against the Rockies. 3 scoreless innings for Torres in that appearance. That included 3 strikeouts.
There's only one other guy that I work with that comes up with things like what Jeff Grayson just said.
Who's that?
It's Brent Barry in the NBA. He does that all the time.
Really?
He and Jeff would be fast friends. Briggs and Stratton. Brent is spending a little time with us in the booth. I don't know what he's wearing this for. Such a Giants fan. I give him credit, though. He's a Giants fan through the thick and the thin. Growing up here in the Bay Area. The great Brent Barry, slam dunk champion. And a fine broadcaster.
You got a bunch of partners, don't you?
I got a lot of them.
How do you keep track of
them?
You know,
I'm taking a little bit of a tally on who my favorites are right now. So you keep up the good work, buddy. You're trending well right now. Panda gets drilled. That one comes up and in. I think Torres is saying that's a swing. It is not.
No.
Check swing. They did ask the third base umpire, but Sandoval gets drilled by that pitch up and in. That one stung him.
And the danger zone right there around the wrist.
Now Bochy comes out. Athletic trainer is there. Can't quite see where he's looking. Maybe a little up on the wrist or not. I think Bochy's going to make a move.
Yeah, well, just get some ice on it.
Yeah, you get a little speed. You're at the point of the game where you'd rather tighten up defensively anyway, and so Sandoval is out. Orlando Calixte will come in to run. Ouch! Right above the wrist. Looked like it got him on the forearm, right where the tape is.
Yeah, right on the tape. I think that's a little bit better spot to get hit as opposed to that wrist.
So Sandoval is out, on base for the 3rd time tonight, though. 2 hits and a hit by pitch. That's a good look at it here.
Yeah.
Back wrist.
Yep. Up on the forearm.
I would imagine Bochy would have Calixte play third base. So a lead man on for Nick Hundley.
And we saw him at Miller Park. He played a pretty good third base, too. That was a while ago.
Back in June. Hundley's 0 for 3. Did drive in a run. Drove in a run with a ground out in the 4th inning. He lined out his last time up. He hit a bullet over to third base. Brewers are going to have the middle of their order coming up in the 9th. Giants have their new closer getting ready. Sam Dyson began the year as the Rangers closer. He's found something here in San Francisco.
And Calixte does not have a stolen base or even a stolen base attempt. He hasn't been here that long. It's only his 14th game.
Big swing by Hundley. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Giant catcher. Getting the call tonight for Buster Posey. It's a big bat out of the Giants lineup tonight. Posey 5th in the league in batting average. He'll be back in there tomorrow. Torres paying a lot of attention to Calixte at first. Like Melanson, Torres throws a lot of cutters. That's his bread and butter pitch.
Yeah, same stuff, right? Cutter, curveball.
He does get a lot of ground balls when he's right. Man, a swing and a miss. 1-2 now on Hundley. That was a good one. But that had a little heat on it as well. That's 94 with a little movement away from the right-handed hitter.
Yeah, he will four-seam him once in a while, and he's throwing at times 95. We've seen it on the gun.
And down he goes. Hit the spot again. Torres strikes out Hundley. First strikeout for Carlos. And one gone in the inning.
And it was that four-seamer right on the corner. 94 again for Torres. Yep. Sticks the landing, does Vogt, makes it look good, and Mark Carlson rings it up.
So Torres will face Ryder Jones now. And a swing and a foul straight back. Torres trying to get the Brewers back to the dugout and back at the plate. Only down 2. The only run scoring inning was the 4th. A 2-spot in the 4th. RBIs from Crawford and Hundley. Brewers offense has been shut down here tonight, and San Francisco pitching, even going back to their starter Chris Stratton, they have retired 10 in a row now, and 12 out of the last 13. No hit for the Brewers since the 4th inning. Brewers are 2 back in the division race. Cubs are off tonight. Arizona beat the Mets in 10 innings earlier tonight. Brewers are chasing the Diamondbacks in the wild card race as well. Rockies and Diamondbacks are the 2 teams that are in. That looked like a surefire bet that the Rockies and the Diamondbacks would be the wild card teams, but there's, because of their play since the All-Star break, each team has struggled since the break. It's let a bunch of teams back in it, including the Brewers. You got the Cardinals in there, the Marlins. There's a shot into center field, a base hit. Ryder Jones with a single. Giants have 2 on with 1 away.
He went down and got that pitch down and in, and he golfed it off out into center field. No activity in the Brewers bullpen. Remember, they used a bunch of guys yesterday. 6 different relievers used in that win against the Rockies.
Derek Johnson on his way to the mound. Well, Brewers and Giants will do it again tomorrow night. Hope you'll make plans to be with us. Stay up late, get a little nap in. 8:30 is airtime tomorrow. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Jimmy Nelson against Jeff Samardzija. 2 big right-handers going tomorrow. Brewers will have Garza on Wednesday for the day game here in San Francisco. Pinch hitter is going to be Gorkis Hernandez. First and second with 1 out. Brewers can ill afford to go down any more at this point. Be tough enough down 2.
And he's get that cut fastball down and away, and maybe have the Brewers turn one, turn a double play. Do not have a double play tonight.
There's a strike. Sweeper in there for a strike.
Yeah, that's where you want it. More the curveball than the cutter right there. Good pitch.
First and second, one out. Torres deals. Fly ball foul. That's going to slice into the seats. Jorge Hernandez coming off the Giants bench. Remember, Bochy has already used Moncrief. He pinch hit in the 6th inning. He's used Calixte, who's at second base, who is a pinch runner for Sandoval, who was hit by a pitch.
Only Buster Posey left on the bench.
That's a pretty big bat remaining. There's a swing and a miss, and down he goes. Hernandez strikes out. Torres with his second out, both on Ks. And now 2 on with 2 out. Top of the order for Denard Span.
I'll tell you, that one had some heat on it. How about Carlos Torres throwing 96 miles an hour? Wow. Feeling good.
Got a left-handed batter to deal with in Span. Singled his last time up. Little tapper. Torres will make the play to end the inning. So he strands 2. Good job by Torres. Drake and Torres put up zeros in the 7th and the 8th. Can the Brewers answer in the 9th? Last call coming. Sports Wisconsin presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Giants have a 2-0 lead over the Brew Crew as we go to the 9th inning. Last call for the Crew coming up. Shaw, Santana, and Vogt, the scheduled hitters. And it's going to be Sam Dyson, the new Giants closer these days. Calixte does stay in to play third base for San Francisco after he pinch ran for Sandoval. Jorge Hernandez will remain in the game in center field as well. Span is out. Put Dyson in that spot, and here we go to the 9th, partner.
Yeah, and Dyson got traded to the Giants from the Rangers, a player to name later in the beginning part of June. He was really scuffling with the Rangers, but he has found something here. That 2-seamer's been pretty good.
First pitch swinging, Shaw right to Crawford. 1 pitch and 1 out for Dyson.
Gets a lot of ground ball outs, a good 2-seamer. Got a change up and a slider to go with it.
Dyson, 29 years of age. He had a great year for the Rangers last season. 38 saves last year for Texas. Playoff team last year. Their bullpen was their strength a season ago, and Jeremy Jeffers was a part of that Rangers bullpen, but it all fell apart for the Rangers this year. What's ironic about Texas, they traded all these players or released players trading away the likes of Yu Darvish and Jonathan Lucroy, Jeffress, Dyson, who began the year as a closer. And they're kind of back in the wild card race right now without all those pieces that they were counting on.
We had 2.5 out, right? And they're under 500.
Whatever Dyson lost in Arlington, he has found here in San Francisco.
And they changed his mechanics a bit. Arm angle. It's been much more consistent throwing strikes. Better sink and getting outs.
He slings it in there in the mid to upper 90s with a ton of movement. 2 balls and a strike on Santana. Good low ball hitter. And that was close to hitting him. That was right by the leg.
Sound like a double sound, huh?
I heard that too. I thought it might have clipped the leg going by. 3-1 to count. That's what we call a quick look at it. See if you're paying attention. Outside, ball 4. Santana will reach. And there you go. The Brewers get the base runner they need. Now the potential tying run will come to the plate in Stephen Vogt.
Let's see if the Brewers can do what they do best. Knock one out of here.
Vogt with 8 home runs this season. This is where he makes his money right here. Vogt.
Good low ball hitter, and that's where you expect Dyson to put it with that 2-seamer.
On the ground. Giants got a chance to turn it, and Vogt hustles down the line. Not enough on it, and the Giants are going to win the game. The Brewers are going to look at this here. That was a close play at first. The call was out.
I don't see any of the Giants leaving the field. I don't think they're convinced that that was the right call at first.
I think Craig Counsell is convinced this game will be extended. That was going to be a tough double play to turn.
A little slow motion. It took Tomlinson a little while to get rid of it. Crawford with the big arm. Yeah, this game's not over.
He's safe.
C.B. Buckner missed that one. I mean, really not even close. It shouldn't take very long.
And that is a quick ruling here. Safe is the call. The game is extended. And the Brewers fortunate for replay, and they will get a chance to send their big slugger to the plate. Down 2 with 2 outs. Jesus Aguilar will pinch hit for Keon Broxton.
As hot as he's been, you would hate to lose a game without using Aguilar at some point. He's got 3 home runs his last 2 games.
Well, here he comes. He had a big 9th inning home run against the Rockies. Power on power here. Dyson against Aguilar. In there with a strike. 97 in on the hands. Aguilar has been so good off the bench. He's had 3 pinch hit homers. 14 hits this year off the bench. Yeah, that's a balk.
Yeah.
And Vogt will be sent to second base. That takes a force away.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I was wondering why they didn't pinch run for Vogt, because you got Perez on the bench, you got Sogard much quicker. His run doesn't mean anything, but he might be able to beat a close play at second base. Doesn't apply anymore now that he's at second.
No balls and a strike on Jesus Aguilar. And a strike right down the middle. Aguilar couldn't pull the trigger on that one at 97. And it's quickly 0-2. Brewers down to their last strike. Giants lead 2-0. Aguilar swings and misses. Down he goes. Dyson with the strikeout. And the ball game is over. The Giants shut out the Brewers tonight. 2-0 the final score. And the Brewers drop the opener of this 3-game series. Chris Stratton is the winner. Zach Davies suffers the loss. And Dyson picks up his 11th save as a member of the Giants. Jeff Grayson standing by. It's time for Brewers Live. Let's get it started. Jeff Grayson in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studios. Take it away.